Hi everyone. So today I want to talk about a huge aha that I had last week as I've been managing through COVID-19 and working from home and having all of these feelings of stress and anxiety, and then moments of deep reflection about myself and who I am as a person, and then thinking deeply about humanity and society and the things we need to change and so much more, which is the critical importance of practicing compassion during a time of crisis. And this was a huge aha for me. And it's interesting because I talk a lot about compassion in my other videos and blogs, which if you haven't checked them out, you should definitely do that at ritubhasin.com. But I talk a lot about compassion, this idea of being tender and vulnerable and really connecting in with ourselves and showering ourselves with unconditional acceptance and love so that we can offer this same spirit to others. But it was really interesting for me as I hadn't really thought about it or paused to think about it in the context of what's going on now with the COVID-19 health crisis that we're experiencing globally. And I just, as someone who leads, so I have a team, I run a company, I have tons of clients and all of these moving pieces as part of the work that I'm doing, I have been struggling to manage and lead effectively in this time when my business has been seriously impacted because as a professional speaker, as a consultant, as an empowerment expert, if people are not gathering and we cannot travel, well, I don't have as much work, and it's caused a lot of anxiety for me and my team. And I was feeling all of this pressure over the last few weeks. And last week, I had this day where I started my day with a list of like 10 things I had to get done. And because moment after moment, there was like another fire to put out, like another issue to deal with, and just managing a team remotely and all of that, I finished the end of the day and the list wasn't complete. And then I had more things on my list, and then I tried to get as much done, but then I'm like, at a certain point of time, I'm like, no, you can't work anymore. You have to exercise self-care, stop working, make the evening be about you. And then the next morning, the same thing happened. Started my list now of like 20 things because the 10 I didn't get done from yesterday, plus the 10 new things. And then I start the list and the same thing happens at the end of the day. Now I have 30 things. And anyhow, I had this moment where I'm like, Ritu Bhasin, the world is in crisis. We are dealing with a global health crisis. The economy is adversely impacted. The markets are plunging. Poverty abounds. Joblessness, it abounds. Homelessness abounds. And so much more. And for you, you're feeling crisis. Your body is in crisis. You're not sleeping the way you would normally sleep. You're not eating the way you would normally eat. You're not exercising the way you would normally exercise. You're not feeling like you. Your body is in crisis. You're living and leading and managing through crisis. Practice compassion. Take a moment, take a pause, take a breath. Recognize that this to-do list that you're creating, it will have to ebb and flow and change as the day ebbs and flows and changes. And all that matters is that you manage for the moment and be in the moment and be present, one foot in front of the next at a time. And you know, changing my mindset, it's all about mindset, changing my mindset last week to this new way of thinking that, Ritu, you're in crisis, the world's in crisis, everything's around you is filled with stress and anxiety and tension. You're part of this. You can manage yourself with compassion, to lead with compassion and be with compassion as you flow through this. That shift has been tremendous because I can tell you now, as I start week 3 of working remotely during this time of crisis, I feel so much better. I feel more grounded. I feel calmer. I feel, frankly, interestingly, more in control than I felt last week when I felt totally out of control and I was trying to control being out of control. Like my circumstances have not changed significantly. It's just my mindset that has. I'm practicing self-compassion, and because I'm doing this, I'm offering it to others. So I wanted to share this with you. I'd love to hear how this, does this resonate for you, how you're doing, how you're practicing compassion. You can message me below across social media. Drop me a line. I always love hearing from you. And thank you always for supporting what I do, listening to my messages and passing them along. Take care.